Hello and welcome to The Dark Roast. I'm Donna Stroll and I'm here with the always lovely and talented Rose Short. And today's topic is about handling online criticism as a beginner. So this is something that nobody puts on the sales page when they're trying to get you into affiliate or online marketing. They don't tell you that you're going to have to deal with haters and just general jerks. Because the truth is, you could be doing everything right, helping people, showing up consistently, and someone is still going to pop in your comments, but yeah, this is a garbage, or you got scammed, or some crap like that. Or worse yet, they just decide to comment on what you're wearing or how you look or whatever. And it's like, cool, thanks, Chad. Super helpful, right? And this is what you need to understand. This is not a you problem. And I know that it feels like a you problem. When someone attacks you, it feels very personal. But the research shows that negative comments, even hate speech, are a constant part of a content creator's experience. And it doesn't matter if you are got 1 million followers or 10 million followers or you have 100 followers. It's gonna happen. And the more exposure you have, the more visibility you have, the more likely you're going to encounter these trolls. So if you've started getting pushback, good for you. That means that you are becoming more visible. And visibility is in part where your money's going to be. So it sucks, but it's worth it. Sort of,
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a thing recently where I don't remember if it was Zuckerberg or one of the other ones had to basically admit that the algorithm, or they were trying to say the algorithm doesn't actually prioritize negative comments, but because the negative comments tend to get more engagement, that's why the controversial stuff gets pushed. And then they kind of had to backpedal and basically say that yeah, no, that's not true, because Facebook whistleblowers were like, no, if you put an angry face, that's the equivalent of 10 likes. So they were looking at, oh, this is kind of controversial, we should push it more. The online spaces in general are kind of emotional dodgeball areas, right? There's a lot of online toxicity, and it's driven by people seeking attention or social approval within their own circles, or they were told their whole life by their parents so their opinion doesn't matter, and now they have the entire internet where no one can tell them their opinion doesn't matter or to shut up. And so they're not really talking to you. They're performing for someone, whether it be someone in their circle, their child self, their parents, whoever it is.
Their employer who's paying them to be a dick, right?
Right,
so
right.
Don't forget that those are there too.
Yep. So you just happen to be the stage. And some of them are bot accounts. Some of them, there are people who are paid to go online and create chaos. And there's a study that I think we can link to on that, because, that was interesting. But the main point here is, it's not you. It's a bigger problem, and it's not something that you should really take personal.
Yeah, and the reality is, and it's painful, especially when you're new, is that even smaller creators have to deal with this. You're not talking about millions of followers. Even early stage creators are reporting that there's anxiety, there's burnout, there's mental fatigue from the constant exposure to public feedback and criticism. The online space can be dangerous. So if emotionally, this is something that you have a really hard time filtering out, you might need to make sure that you are in a strong mental space to be able to do this, because we don't want you to get hurt just for the love of a dollar. It's not worth it for your health and your mental safety. But if you can sort of realize that that it's not you, that's important, right? And it doesn't mean that if you've ever questioned yourself after a nasty comment, it's okay. That's normal, right? People say things and you can try to let it roll off your back. You try to be the duck, but it doesn't always work. And that's natural, that's normal, that's human. I'm more talking about if it really cuts you to your core, take a step back and recognize that it's a nobody. It's somebody who they're unhappy, so they just want to spread that around. And that's not anything to do with you. 99.999% of these trolls ad infinitum aren't about you. It never was about you. They just want to create chaos. So
Yeah. Yeah, not all creativity is or not all negativity, I'm sorry, or creativity for that matter, is created equal, right? So first and foremost, you have your trolls, which are people who are just there to poke. There's no logic, there's no value. A lot of times their comments don't even make sense. You just can tell that they're negative, and those are the people that you ignore. You know, the algorithm likes when you engage with the comments, so thanks, have the day you deserve.
Gonna pause.
Yeah, so all right, so let's talk about it, right? Because not all haters are created equal, right? Negativity is not created equal, especially in the online space. So first and foremost, you have what we talk about all the time, which is the trolls. Trolls are just there to poke. There's no logic, no value. A lot of times their comments don't even make sense. They're just mean or rude for the sake of it. So those are the people, just ignore them completely. The algorithm likes engagement, so if your agents say, okay, cool, thanks, you have the day you deserve, right? Like, they're not anyone you should be worried about. Sneakier ones are competitors. So they'll kind of question your credibility publicly. And the translation on that is they view you as a threat, right? So that means your content's working. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
that means that you are talking about things what you're talking about, and they're starting to get worried that you're going to outscale them. Next one is the insecure observer, which is kind of what we were touching on earlier. They want what you have, but they're too scared to start, and that triggers them, right? Your confidence triggers their insecurity. So these are the ones, if you let it get out of hand and reply, like, it will get out of hand, because they're normally a little bit more logical in what they're saying and have a rebuttal prepared. So be careful engaging with these. And then you have the accidental critics, which are always fun, right? They give an awkward delivery, but it's actual feedback. These are rare, these are valuable, but these are a hidden ace in the hole for a lot of people, right? So these are the ones you don't want to throw out. These are the ones you want to dig deeper. These are the ones you want to contact. These are the ones you want to be like, I'm sorry, I don't really understand that. Can you clarify what feedback you're giving? So these ones can be beneficial. It's just figuring out how to recognize them.
Yeah, and they're the ones that you're like, a lot of times you're reading and you're going, I think I know what you're saying, but I'm not really sure. And can you clarify? And I mean, we have to be fair that not everybody can speak what they're trying to say clearly, or it may come off as being harsh when it's really not, because they're blunt, right? They don't want to flower it up. They're not using AI to make it pretty for them. They're actually just saying what's here, there. And so they may have questions or something like that. It feels like it's questioning. Questions are not bad. Okay. I think that questions can make us feel defensive. And when it's in text, it's even harder to know where it came from, if it was an attack or if it was an honest question. So questions can make us feel defensive. Don't let yourself get thrown by that. Take that opportunity to expand, because that's a back and forth communication that's really going to help you. And you don't actually have to engage with any of these people, especially like the trolls or the competitors, because competitors, again, they're afraid of you. Right? It's like your coworker who's always trying to sabotage you because they're afraid you're making them look bad. Well, that's a them problem, right? You just do your job and do it well. You can hide these comments without getting rid of them, because they are interactions, which is nice, right? They're adding engagement onto your post, but you can hide them without deleting them, which means that they remain there. It's just nobody else can see them, which is also nice. So bottom line is that the danger isn't really the hate, it's what you do after it. Because what we see happen a lot of times, especially with beginners, is they stop posting, or they try to soften their message or water it down. They try to please everybody, and you can't please everybody. You can't. It's just impossible to do that. And you can see it happen where somebody comes out with a bold personality. They come out brave and feeling strong about what they're doing. They get a few negative feedbacks, and all of a sudden you start to see their content either scale back in the amount that they're doing or how their personality shines forth. They try to tamper it down. Don't let anybody mess with your shine. The bottom line is the sun doesn't give a fuck if it blinds you, and neither should you. Just shine, right? Bottom line.
Love that. Love it. Okay, so let's be practical about how do we, what do we actually do about this? So first thing you gotta remember, again, not every comment deserves a response, right? Sometimes it's emotional bait. Rage bait is a huge problem right now in the online space. It's a personal attack from someone you don't know, or if it's just completely irrelevant, hide, delete, block, move on, whatever it is. You're not running a debate club, right? You control who says what on your page, and it's perfectly fine to block people and to keep your feed clean as well as your comments clean.
For sure. And then the second one is to use an audience filter. Ask yourself, would my ideal customer say this to me? If the answer is no, then why are you taking advice from them? And that goes for everything in life, right? Are they paying your bills? Are they helping you? Are you helping them? If not, then don't worry about them in your sphere. Ignore what they have to say, because they're not benefiting your life or the lives of the people around you in any way. So there's no purpose to engaging them. It's a waste of your energy.
Yeah. And then don't shut down your comments too quickly. Some creators will turn off comments altogether just to avoid negativity. And that sounds great from I don't care if my content gets any reach and I'm just posting for fun perspective. But if you're trying to build something, if you're really trying to actually help people, there's a lot of research that shows that turning off comments completely will really hurt your credibility and engagement, which will make you seem less open or trustworthy. So don't shut it down from the get-go. Control the room. Be prepared. Maybe be really, really thoughtful about checking the comments, right? So maybe you have it scheduled for like Monday at 5 to go through your comments, but you've had a really bad day. Maybe take a breather for an hour and then look at it at 6, right? Just to make sure that you're in a clear headspace to deal with those kind of things. And we've all made this mistake where we've had one video spiral out of control with the comments, and so we've completely deleted it in an emotional moment. Yeah, like, okay, screw it, I'm not taking it off. Which again, like, if you're constantly posting and then deleting videos, is going to hurt your credibility in the algorithm. So it sucks, but it's your space, control it.
Yeah. And then you want to build a response strategy. So you have 3 different ways that you can do this. You can either ignore, be the duck, let it go right off your back. You can delete it, especially if it's offensive. Like, if it's truly offensive, get rid of it. There's no point to it. Or you can respond, but you need to do that strategically and not emotionally. So if something immediately makes you go up, take a breath, go do something else, and come back to it when your headspace is a little bit more even keeled, and then respond to it strategically. If you respond, you're not really talking to them. You're actually talking to everyone else who's watching. So that's really important to think about, right? Like, you're responding to what they're saying, but you're not responding to them. You're basically talking to everybody else. You're explaining it for everyone else. And that will help you be more level in how you respond. I do that a lot, actually, because I get fairly PO'd when I see people make comments about certain things, like for weight is one, piercings is another. I get really irritated when people make comments about those kinds of things when it has nothing to do with anything. So I have to really first calm down. And then when I do respond, it's like, there's an opportunity for you to leave. You do not have to be here, but did you find the information valuable? I'm sorry that you were not able to see past this, but did you find the information valuable? Like, I have a hard time with it, so I have to really step back and go before I respond. Sometimes I will just ignore it, but sometimes it's like, I've had enough of your nonsense.
Yeah. And then the mindset shift, right, which we talked about before. Hate doesn't show up in empty rooms, right? Nobody is trolling people that aren't visible. Nobody's really criticizing people who aren't moving in some way or another. So if you're getting pushback, congratulations. You've officially stepped into the arena. Boxing gloves are on. You are ready to go. So, a couple of years ago, it was Facebook. If someone wasn't cloning your profile, you weren't doing a good job. You weren't being noticed, right? it's the same thing. It sucks. I mean, it's not a fun part of the online space, but it is unfortunately something that we all have to deal with. And my dog's accounts get trolled. I mean, it's everywhere. That's why we say it's not about you. It's really not about you. It's about them. And just, they're unhappy and they can't just read something or see something they disagree with and keep scrolling. They have to try to cause chaos because it makes them feel better.
The internet trolls are sort of like the old days where you'd have the letter writers who would just write letters to the newspaper all the time about everything. It's like, why is that orange and not white for that fence? Is it okay, dude? Like, does it really matter? But again, I understand that with haters, and like, I always did not enjoy that term haters, but the reality is you're going to have people out there, and right now especially, it's a lot harder to escape it. So it is really important that you try to reframe it in your mind as it just means that you are being more visible, that you're reaching more people, and that's why these people are coming for you, whether it's fear or jealousy or boredom or just trying to create chaos and trying to show off for somebody else. Again, they're using you as an opportunity for them. So reframe that in your head as I'm gaining traction, I'm reaching more people, I'm actually providing a good service, which is why they're feeling threatened, all those kinds of things. Every time someone does a little snap at you, just turn around and look at it and think about it in terms of it just means that you're getting more reach and that you're being more helpful. And it's a good thing for your business, even if it doesn't make you feel good. And again, always take the breaks when you need it. I think that it's really important that we've phrased that many times, is that you just take the break when you need it. Don't let them get to you. And if you do need to just delete it or remove it or whatever, then do that. You need to do what's best for your own mental health.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like what we tell kids when they're growing up or going to school, right? Like, you don't need everyone to like you. Not everyone's going to like you. You don't need everyone to agree with you because you're not going to agree with everybody. And you don't need everyone to support you. You just need the right people to trust you. And the wrong ones are never going to buy from you anyway. So if you're trying to build a business, those people that are coming at you negatively, they were never going to be your clients. So spending way too much energy worrying about them is just going to keep you stuck.
Yep, they're not worth your mental or emotional energy. So bye, Felicia.
Yes.
All right, I think that is it, and that is all for today. Do want to say thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys have an excellent weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye for now. That's it from us. If this episode helped you,
or at least entertained you,
go ahead and like, subscribe, and share.
We'll catch you next time.